So this recipe is kind of a new take on a hot dog, a very healthy alternative using a really good firm white fish called a fish dog. So it's really simple. You get some nice, big chunks of kind of hot dog shaped firm fish. Monkfish works really well. Cod works really well too. You want to go for the nice loin fillets to get that shape. And then it's really simple. A little bit of olive oil or rapeseed oil and a little bit of salt. I don't add pepper at this stage, just because I think it burns if you're cooking on over high heat on the barbecue. You want your barbecue nice and hot. Make sure they're nicely coated in the oil so they don't stick. And then once it's nice and hot and you're happy, you just lay those nice big wedges of fish straight onto the grill, or your hot dogs, might I say. And that's how you start. So some people are a little bit intimidated when cooking fish, particularly on the barbecue, worried they're going to overcook it. There's a few little tips that you can do to make that, to avoid those sort of dry, not very pleasant pieces. So you want to cut them nice and thick, as I said before, which sort of helps retain the moisture, helps them stop overcooking. A nice hot barbecue is good. And then you want to kind of turn them relatively regularly, cook them on all the four sides if you've got, a nice even piece of fish. And then, have a look at them. They should release quite easily. If they're a little bit stuck, then don't worry about that, that's fine. Leave them for a few more minutes over the high heat, and as it cooks and contracts, it will release from the barbecue and you'll be able to turn it over nice and easily. Turn it often. You want to get a bit of colour on there because that adds more flavour. But again, press it, give it. Obviously I've only had it on for a few minutes, but press it if it's feeling really firm. You want to take it off and rest it. And it will probably take, depending on the size of your piece, anywhere between 7 to 8 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And there's a small amount of judgment in there. But a nice high heat is great. Monkfish that I'm using at the moment is great because it's really firm and it's kind of holds together really well. But other fish, cod and other cuts are a bit more delicate and they're sort of prone to kind of breaking up if you cook them too much on the barbecue. So what I'd recommend doing, and even with the monkfish, is freezing it for 10 to 15 minutes or so. You're not going to freeze the fillet, you're just going to get it really nice and cold. And I'll firm it up, it'll firm up all the muscles in there. And then when you put it on the barbecue, and you're going to turn it, you're still going to cook it, you're still going to get it nice and hot, but you're going to ensure that it stays in that shape and that texture of the hot dog kind of effect that we're trying to build here. So we're going to make it even healthier by serving it with some really delicious kind of flavours that go really well with fish. So we've got some nice kind of sweet red, kind of really fluorescent pink onions, which we're going to serve with it, which gives it that kind of sour vinegar flavour you get, kind of like with fish and chips. And then alongside that we're going to do a sort of yoghurt tartar sauce as well, a bit of creaminess, a little bit grown up. You might want to put that on the side if you're serving it for kids. But really simple, very delicious, a bit of colour in there. If you want to go a bit left field, you can add some crispy onions or anything like that if you're being a bit more indulgent that day. If you want to keep it simple and just a nice little splodge of ketchup or mustard would work really well as well. A lemon wedge on the side is great because you can add a little bit of a extra zing to that fish. So as your fish is cooking, you can move it to the other side of the grill. Let it sit there, let it keep cooking, don't forget to turn it and make sure it's nice and juicy. And then whilst that's doing that, you can kind of finish off. You've got your sides ready, prepared, ready to go. And then you want to split your buns open. These nice big submarine rolls, as they're called, are really great because they're kind of similar size to a fish. You're not trying to kind of fit it in a smaller bun. And then you cut it open nice and flat, lengthways, and then just pop it on the hot grill again. If you've got a bit more space. These work really well on the griddle part because you get those charred lines and it looks really attractive. So just a few minutes on the hot grill, give it a nice toasty flavour, and it's perfect. And it'll be nice, a little bit crunchy to go with that kind of soft, delicate fish.